This is another quote that I think is excellent and sums up um, how we are all made to feel collectively guilty over something instead of actually trying to solve the problem, or we're made to feel guilty for the wrong thing, I guess is what I'm trying to say. That's how I feel. Over the last several months, public figures from the Pope downwards have bombarded us with injunctions to fight against the culture of excess greed and consumption. This disgusting spectacle of cheap moralization is an ideological operation if there ever was one. The compulsion to expand, inscribed into the system itself, is translated into the matter of personal sin, a private psychological propensity. The first lesson of psychoanalysis here is that this richness of inner life is fundamentally fake. It is a screen, a false distance, whose function is, as it were, to save my appearance, to render palpable, accessible to my imaginary narcissism, my true socio-symbolic identity. One of the ways to practice the critique of ideology is therefore to invent strategies for masking this hypocrisy of the inner life and its sincere emotions. The experience we have of our lives from within, the stories we tell ourselves about ourselves in order to account for what we are doing, is thus a lie. The truth lies rather outside in what we do. I think the truth is almost always lying outside, and even if we tell ourselves, like, oh, I killed some, let's say, Iraqi kid, everything's fine, I am a good person, I was just doing what I was told to do. Again, the theme of responsibility and who's responsible. We cannot be really anything more than what we've been socially conditioned to be like. I think even socially conditioned to think like I have been through the books I've read. I know I don't read Twilight, I'm more influenced by, I hope, higher sorts of literature. Not that low art, high art is all that different. So I think in order, though, to live with ourselves and our actions, we have to constantly tell ourselves that we are not responsible for the things we do. And I can't really decide if, does it make me a bad person if I go buy sweatshop made clothing, knowing it is, but also wanting to look good, wanting it for selfish reasons, because I am selfish. I don't know. I don't think we're all inherently good or bad, but we do have to judge ourselves based on our actions more than what we believe ourselves to be. So people need, even if you're like if you hurt somebody, if some alcoholic beats his wife, and he can be like, oh, I'm going through a really psychologically hard time. Is it his fault? Well, he still has to be held accountable to his actions, and there isn't really an excuse to what he did. It's just we want to convince ourselves that there are reasons for cruel behavior that have nothing to do with us. I guess psychological problem does have to do with us, but if you can convince yourself that it's not your fault that you have a psychological problem, so that works there too. I haven't made up my mind about this. Not many people watched my last video when I was talking about responsibility, so you should. Or just give me some thoughts. Anyway, this has only been quotes from the first 40 pages, but it's not very long, and I'm on I wanted to also read page 60-ish, but I'll do that next time, because the second part is called The Communist Hypothesis, and I really haven't really started. I just sort of briefly glanced through it. I think this book is a bit, it's not mentally beyond me, but I definitely should read more philosophy.